Everything is a practice. And if you look at life from a viewpoint that it's all about fun, then like you said, you might hate 50% of your life because not everything is fun. But if you look at life from a viewpoint of it's about perfecting yourself, obviously you cannot reach perfection, but just perfecting the self that you have of yesterday into a better version of yourself today, then even whether it be a loved one passing away or you having a crazy disease or something like that, or just even just something normal like waiting for the train and it's not coming on time and you find yourself getting aggravated, you can use all of these to better yourself, because it's through the biggest suffering that you have that, at least me personally, through the biggest sufferings I've had, always bring me to the biggest realizations of
the biggest breakthroughs.
Yeah, exactly. The biggest breakthroughs, most importantly, mentally, the biggest mental breakthroughs of, if you break things down, something I like to do is think, if something bad happens, I think to myself, what could I have done to stop this? If the answer is nothing physically and it all would just have to be changing my mindset on things, and that's where I know that I have some sort of meditation that I got to do, because if not, then I'm just on a neutral plane of not improving and not, you know what I mean?
It's beautiful. Did you listen to that Joe Rogan interview I did?
Yes.
I told that story about me getting attacked and beat up really bad. And in retrospect, I'm not going to pray to get beat up again. But in retrospect, it was the most spiritual experience in my life. You know, it was like such a blessing. Wouldn't trade it in for the world. I found myself like in deep meditation, spiritually connected more than I've ever been connected. I felt like I was like free from the pain of it. And I felt like connected to God as I was getting pounded on the head with a baseball bat. Mm-hmm. And it was like the most spiritual experience of my life. And I reflect on it back with fond memories. Mm-hmm. I have another friend, a spiritual practitioner, and he's a father, and probably about 10 years younger than me, but still that's a young man, and father of 2 little children. And he's just got diagnosed with some serious heavy cancer. And when I hear him speak, and he's very serious about his spiritual path, I could just see he's refining his spiritual intelligence now. I just see this man go through such a change. Like everything he knew, just like you and I, we're all on a spiritual path and it's good and there's challenge. But now I can see, like, when it's put into these great moments of challenge, he's started to dig into and refine that spiritual intelligence. And whether he survives or doesn't survive, I think that great catastrophe of cancer is going to probably be one of the biggest blessings for his spiritual evolution, because he's seeing it with spiritual goggles. Now, this is different for people who believe like we're just here for this life, because it's all for the good means no sense. If you're here, what are you talking about? You're going to leave your wife, you're going to die, your wife's going to be alone, your kids are going to be alone. What do you mean it's all good? It's not all good. Now it's miserable. But if life is eternal and there is a benevolent hand in everything, then leaving your body in spiritual consciousness is the goal of life. And it's the perfection of your marriage and of your friendships and of your parenting, and then it's, if the wife, I'm using this situation, it's going to be anybody's situation. If the wife is alive, then yeah, she'll have to dig deeper to take care of 2 kids and to find, or maybe remarry, or, to find a person in their life that is, that can lift her up, or that she can have a spiritual partnership, or that she just says, you know what, life is temporary. I lost my husband. I'm going deep inside now to find connection and give connection to these 2 children of mine. And it could be the thing that saves her spiritual life is having someone that she loves leave her. So there is benevolence in even disaster. Mm-hmm. We're not abandoned. This isn't happening to us randomly. And it's hard to forget that, because it seems like the world is random. There is life and death and good fortune. And that guy gets whatever he wants, and it wasn't fair. And it's not fair. I've done so much. It's all perfect. And there is benevolence behind all actions that come to us. Yeah. And it's sometimes hard to see with the material lens, in the same way a teenager getting chastised by the parent saying, you can't take the car tonight because you never finished that exam, or you never did any studying. And the teenager cannot see. What are you talking about? How dare you? All my friends are going out. It's completely not fair. You know, the kid, no matter how you explain it, the child can't see.
Hmm. Yeah, well, just real quick before we go, because I know you had until 2:45, I just wanted to say that it reminds me when John Joseph was here, he was talking about how we are not this material body, we're the spirit soul. And it's not that we aren't a body who has a soul, we are a soul that has a body. So whether
Nicer way to look at it, isn't it?
even death itself, it's a, you know what I mean? The physical body is dying, and then you will, if you believe in that or whatever you believe in, but according to the Vedas, is you will reincarnate into something else. So it's like it's almost it's a freeing thought, one. And then, yeah,
Well, whether we believe it or not, the body's dying.
Mhm.
And whether we believe it or not, we're witnessing it dying.
Yep.
Like I witnessed my 5-year-old body die, my 10-year-old body die, my
Mm.
25-year-old body die. We've even witnessed our subtle body die. Like I remember my 25-year-old ego or my 18-year-old ego. I'm sure you guys can remember when you're 18 years old. It was different than when you are now. You've witnessed it change. So if you've witnessed it change, who are you that's doing the witnessing? So we are experiencing reincarnation right now, right? I'm looking at your guys' faces, and you guys remind me of me being in the hardcore scene at, you know, at young ages. And I'm looking at my own face in the Zoom screen like, oh man, you're such an old bastard compared to these young kids. And I'm thinking, oh man, what happened to my face? But that's the deal. I'm watching reincarnation happen with my own body. And then I'll leave this body. And then the body will just rot. But there's consciousness behind it all. So while we're here, we got to hear important information and then put that information to practice. When we hear knowledge, that's good. But when we put it to practice, that becomes wisdom. Yeah. We want wisdom when we're working in this world so we can separate ourselves at this greatest challenge we'll have, which is leaving the body.
And I think planting seeds is also very important, especially in this age with people, like just being who you are, and they notice how this is, and they take their inspiration. Because I've talked to people, especially in particular, about veganism, or just vegetarianism, whatever. I spoke to a friend I had, and he said that he just said that, like, I'm one person, how can I change that whole industry? It doesn't matter, I can't make a change. So, but I told him that with one person, that's how it starts, by planting a seed, and that's it grows and grows and grows. So.
It's just like people look up to you, and we don't live in a bubble or a vacuum or on an island. When you change, people notice you, and they be like, what is he doing? That seems cool. I want to do that. I mean, come on, we're part of this world. You want to change the world, change yourself. We say, learn it, live it, and then give it. So first we got to learn it. And then we got to, okay, that makes sense. Now I want to apply it. And once you apply it, then you want to give it to other people. You know, that's part of it. But it's not going to work. I can't just jump right to give it. I have to learn it and live it.